Now, this isn't a how-to video, it's sort of more like how I did it and what I did kind of a video. In about 1987, I built this 1-inch belt grinder after taking a George Dixon tool making and complex effect class. It can handle 30-inch or 36-inch long belts on the right-hand side, which is this side here. I didn't need a table to support the work, nor did I make a platen in back of the belt. You know, many belt grinders will have a table here, and then a lot of them will have this platen along the back, so when you press here, things stay straight. I didn't need or want that. As a matter of fact, I like the idea that when you push back on the belt, you get a kind of a little radius there for tuning up certain kinds of blacksmith tools, like many of these. That have that sort of a canoe shape edge to them. It is driven by a used electric clothes dryer drive/blower motor having about 1/5 horsepower, if I remember correctly. It has a shaft sticking out each end, and it's a 1725 RPM 120 volt motor. Shaft sticking out this side, shaft sticking out that side. I mounted it on this plate, which is about a 1/2 inch thick, and it's size, for whatever worth, it's just something I had laying around. The plate is 5.5 by 12 inches. I made an adapter for the left side that allows me to attach a drill chuck so I can chuck up a wide variety of flap wheels, etc. I also made this cone-shaped adapter with a left-hand thread for the left side. So that you can add buffing wheels. I also made a cone-shaped threaded adapter like that used on a jeweler's bench buffer/polisher to quickly exchange cloth, fiber, and Scotch-Brite wheels. Looking back at this design 35 years later, I think I made the right choices. So I'll just give you a few dimensions. The main drive wheel is 6 inches in diameter and 2 inches wide, and I just turned it out of a piece of oak that I had laying around. The oak drive wheel, you can see sort of in the center of this picture an aluminum adapter that I had laying around that I managed to insert into this piece of oak before I did the final turning. I think I epoxied it in place probably, and there's an aluminum adapter that I machined the rough piece of oak to fit into before I turned it finally around. It has a set screw in it so I can mount it solidly to the drive shaft of the motor. The idler wheel is made out of aluminum, and it's just a bit over 1.25 inches wide totally. Notice I've got two like 16th inch flanges on it. So, and the inside part of the roller is about 1 1/8 inches. The diameter of the roller itself is 2 inches. The inside of the roller is just bored out to fit a bolt, but on the back side it has a 1-inch bearing that came from a Hoover vacuum cleaner motor, I think, because it's going to run at a pretty high speed. That's the only thing I bought for this whole machine. The speed ratio is of course, 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So with a 1725 RPM motor, that upper roller is turning at about 5175 RPMs. This is the whole mechanism that supports the upper roller. The pivot point for the arm is 13.5 inches higher than the base. The overall arm is about 11 inches long, and the pivot point is at about 4.5 inches from here to there, and about 5 inches from this pivot point to where I mounted the spring. Okay, now as I said, this thing works with either a 30 or 36 inch belt, so the tensioning is provided by this spring right here going into this hole, and that works just fine for the 36 inch belt. For the 30 inch belt, there's another hole that's drilled right here, which of course allows that arm to go down another 3 inches so that it holds that 30 inch belt. And that's about all there is to it. And I mounted a toggle switch back here, not the handiest place, but it works for me. Well, this is me using my 1-inch belt grinder, polisher, sander, whatever. Homemade DIY, nothing fancy. Just something that would work for me. And here I'm just showing it using the buffer end. Normally I have this clamped down to a bench, by the way. I just have it sitting on my anvil here today, just for taking this short video. About every 10 years, crud piles up under here. Oh, I did make a cover for it too, by the way. Yeah. So just to keep most of the dust and dirt out. And it also helps to support the switch, and it helps to support this vertical arm here. Thank you for watching.